Hi, everyone, and welcome to This Is Your Time. Today, we're going to be talking about health and wellness secrets because it is Wealth Wellness Wednesday, and I hope you're having a great day so far. So, if you're just tuning in, my name is Donna Levy. I've been a registered nurse for 38 years. I've helped over 30,000 people get healthy, take care of themselves. Some got off their medication, coach them, and getting their brain healthy. I've worked with dementia clients, child psychiatry. I've been directors of home cares. So this is my passion, guys, the health and wellness regime. So let us start. You have been lied to. I have been lied to. The entire medical community has been lied to. And we are so upset that it almost brings me to tears every time I talk about this. Um, since 1955, okay, before 1955, um, if you wanted to lose weight, if you started having memory issues, if you were starting to have high sugars, the doctors all knew to put you on, I'm going to say it, the keto diet. Medium protein, high fat, and very low carbohydrate. No sugar, no rice, no bread, no potatoes. That was the diet. It was the keto, what we call today the keto diet. Okay, so in 1955, this is what happened. President Eisenhower had a heart attack. Okay, and this Dr. Anshel Keys, came out of the woodwork. And his whole presentation is that cardiovascular disease was made because of the fat in our diet and the saturated fats, and that we must take that all out of our regime. Well, he had another agenda. He wanted to become a well known name throughout history. He cherry picked his scientific studies. He did a study, this is funny. He did a study at a psychiatric hospital, several psychiatric hospitals, I think in Michigan. And because they are in a closed environment, he put them on the ADA, American Diabetic Association diet, which is high carbohydrate, medium protein, and very low fat. And he wanted to say that this was the healthiest way, that people didn't have heart attacks and didn't have coronary disease, and that there wasn't an increase in diabetes with this, that it helped diabetes. Well, guess what? He had to throw out the study at the end because it never solidified what he was trying to tell people. Actually, the opposite. It had no effect on people having heart disease. People got fatter. People had gotten diabetes, and that's on the American Diabetic Association diet. Okay, the one that we give diabetics. Okay, so this is how crazy this whole thing is. He lobbied. Anybody who rebutted his scientific experiments and his findings, he squashed. I guess he was a miserable person. They compared him to kind of a Hitler type of person. So, and guess what? The government bought into this. Why? Because soy, corn, all kinds of grain, and wheat feeds our economy. But guess what? It's giving us disease. It's making us inflamed. It's giving us heart disease. Actually, what is causing our heart disease is inflammation. And what causes inflammation? The sugar. And they have put sugar in everything. Everything. Even Dr. Berg, he said that he checked a salt package one day and it had dextrose in it. Dextrose is sugar. So our whole diet program has been lied to. There are several documentaries that I can refer to you. I'll put it in the comment section so you guys can look at them. But one of them is the magic pill. And what they're referring to is the keto diet, guys, and intermittent fasting. That really helps us. You know, we have become so insulin resistant that our bodies just don't metabolize correctly. We never can get to utilize our fat. And that's why people are fat, because we can't access that for our energy because we're inundated in sugar and insulin. And insulin is our hormone. Yes, it's a hormone that keeps us from burning fat. It's a fat saving hormone, guys. Fat saving. So, you know, we as doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals, we take an oath that says that we will do no harm to our patients. And we are doing harm. We're killing them. I've had tons of diabetics, and actually, I have taken out the carbohydrates in their diets. I have gone, because I've done home care, I've gone into their cabinets and actually prioritized what they should be eating. And I got one girl totally off of her insulin, off of everything, by doing the high fat, high protein diet, because we're satisfied with that and our bodies work on ketones. Don't worry about the glucose, because our body makes the glucose it needs from our protein. It rearranges and cuts off some hydrogen atoms, and we get our glucose and you know, that our brain needs, plus it feeds on the ketones, and we get mental clarity. It's just amazing. The video on the magic pill shows a child that is basically agitated and non-responsive to her environment. She couldn't feed herself. She was having temper tantrums. She couldn't pay attention. She was all over the place on the windowsills and everything. 6 weeks on the keto diet. And she was eating with a fork. She started talking to people. She could concentrate. Guys, our diet is making us sick. And there was, in one of the films, they interviewed Moskowitz is his last name. He is from New York. He is a chemist and a food chemist. And the food industry, I got to give you some facts. The food industry actually hired him to come in and figure out the sweet spot in the foods. When they started taking out the fat in the food, they're like, well, we have to replace it with something. So they felt that sugar had less calories. This is craziness. Sugar had less calories, so we'll replace it with sugar. So that's one fact. So he had to come in and test the food for that bliss spot that they called it, where people thought it tastes good. It signaled dopamine in our brain center. That's the addiction center. So that we would need more. We would want to buy it again and again and again. And we would eat large quantities of it because our brain was stimulated to eat the large quantities of the food. And it isn't everything. If you have done keto or Atkins, you know, in 1970, 1980, and lost a bunch of weight, and today you try to eat those same foods, you will not lose weight, because minute amounts of sugar has been added to all of this. My husband brought home, because we're doing the keto thing, and I lost 28 pounds in like 3 months, and that was never heard of in my life. And I'll tell you my story in a minute, but I want to finish this. He brought home like, you know, an Italian pepperoni or whatever. And he's like, look, there's 0 carbs. And I'm like, I go to look at it and it says dextrose in it. I'm like, those labels lie. If it's less then one carb, which is, could be 0.9, which makes a difference in how much carbohydrate you're eating, then they don't have to report it. 0.9, they don't have to report. And so anything that says less than 1, you can just guarantee that it's 1 carbohydrate. And that makes all the difference in a diabetic's life, in a renal disease person's life. It makes all the difference when you're counting those things. So I wish we could sue the food industry. It's just absolutely insane. On one of the videos, they actually had footage. I think it was the Magic Pill footage of a government meeting with McGovern in it, and the scientists were doing the experiment before they came out with our food pyramid and our ADA recommendations. And they show the actual footage of the doctor saying, we're not ready. Our evidence does not support this diet program and that food pyramid, which you're trying to, put into stone for people to follow. And McGovern said, I can't wait. Us politicians don't have the luxury of time to wait. The American public needs to get on this diet immediately. Unlike you scientists who have a lot of time to, play around with your statistics. We're going for it, and it's going to be law. So guess what? People are dying. People are having kidney disease. They're diabetic. They're having heart disease. It has been proven that the sugar, not the fat, not the saturated fat, the sugar has been causing the heart disease. It's the inflammation that with the fat that causes the heart disease, not the fat, guys, not the fat. It's insane. And you're also figuring the HDLs and the LDLs, that doesn't matter. If you don't have sugar, that doesn't matter. Our body needs cholesterol. It does. Now, always work with your doctor, but even some doctors need education. And the doctors who started promoting this lifestyle, the keto lifestyle, their patients are getting better, but there's several people who have been brought up on charges, actually malpractice charges, because they weren't following the guidelines. And they show one doctor's trial on it, but he won because he was so convincing that, people have a choice. The only way that we are going to promote this healthy lifestyle and to be healthier and into our aged bodies, our brains, as we age, we want to be better. We want to be alert. We want to be healthy. We want to be able to run and play with our grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews. We don't want to be huffing and puffing with a walker at 70. Who wants that? You don't. And the amazing thing, Dr. Fung is the head of fasting, and he's a nephrologist, MD nephrologist. He is famous for fasting. And Dr. Longo also, that you actually can reverse your disease process. You can get rid of your diabetes. Yes, rid of the diabetes. And people have actually grown brain cells. We've had neuroplasticity occur. We have had liver has, cells have been replaced because as we fast longer, we get autophagy, which is the eating of all of the waste products from our cells. We get stem cell rejuvenation. We get higher HGH levels. It's just amazing what our bodies are really capable of doing when we eliminate sugar from our diet. It is like poison. And I have talked about corn syrup before, and 13 countries have banned it because our bodies can't digest it. It's stored in the fat. We get inflammation from it. But guess what? Our country won't do it. And that is because we develop corn. We have corn, you know? All those products, the margarine products and all those products that we had in the 70s, you know, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature, lady. Promise, the margarine and stuff, those are all trans fats. Those are the bad fats. Do not use them. Do not use them. We grew up on Tab. We grew up on all these things we didn't even know, but the government knew. The government knew that these things were bad. They didn't care. And so now, because this is your time, we can start opening our eyes. We have time to research these things. And, you know, it's time that we get healthy and get happy and get our families on the health track, you know. For me, I have struggled with my weight forever. I was a fat child. My mother had me on Weight Watchers when I was 13 years old. That's 8th grade. I was on Weight Watchers. I was called, my maiden name is Mesite. I was called Mama Mesite. I hated it, you know, but I decided to be the fat, jolly person, you know, and that's who I was. But, you know, it's just, this whole thing has changed my life, and I just feel so upset and passionate about this because we've been lied to. And thank you very much for, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on diet programs and going to diet doctors and them not being able to figure out what was wrong, that I couldn't lose weight. What was wrong? I'm not from Mars. I have the same body as everybody else. But, you know, just recently, I was able to access the information that I needed. One was a healthy keto diet. 2 was insulin resistant and what that means for a healthy keto diet. And what kind of intermittent fasting should I be doing to decrease insulin secretion in my body? Another thing is to have a healthy gut biome, because everybody metabolizes differently, and what makes my sugar spike might not make your sugar spike, and that's all because of my gut biome. I might eat healthy but be malnourished because I don't have the appropriate catalysts to bring the nutrient into my body. And I have found wonderful supplements that have helped my body. And through my nursing and my connection between Dr. Fung and Dr. Berg and Thomas DeLauer, I have been able to put a program together for myself, and I've lost 28 pounds very easily. I am very satisfied. My mind is clear. I can focus. I have energy. I am at the top of the world, and I really started in January, so I was able to use all of this time to really educate myself. And there are many doctors that are just in my spot who, you know, are frustrated that, you know, you're telling your patient this is what to eat, and they're coming back and their sugars are still high, their weight doesn't change, and it's because the diet is wrong. We really can heal ourselves with diet and the proper supplementation. It is a miracle pill, and it is just amazing, just amazing. So just try it, even if you just try it for 6 weeks. 6 weeks out of your whole life is like nothing. And you're going to feel great. You're going to feel wonderful. You're going to be inspired. You're going to be, why is this such a secret? That's the other thing, is why is this such a secret? It's amazing. It's just, I get so passionate about this. So that's all I have to say for today. You have control over your life, your longevity, your health, and yes, your wealth, because health is wealth today. And so take this time that we're in quarantine to start educating yourself and jump on the bandwagon. You know, your life is going to be better, and you need to emerge out of this present situation to be healthier and happier. You know, boost that immune system. This all does that for you. It's the sugar. Viruses live on sugar. It's the sugar that is going to decrease your immunity. So that's all I have to say for today. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. Please, I have a Facebook page, a nurse's take on wellness, on today's health, a nurse's take on today's health, or smashing your insulin resistant group. It is public. You could go on, look at my videos, look at the before and afters. It's amazing, and people are just living a healthy, happy life now. So I hope you join us, and we'll see you tomorrow on another This Is Your Time. Bye. Oh yeah, forgot about my little